To really understand China, you have to get to know its people.
北京敏感的东西非常多，你知道，一敏感你就不可能知道。
My name is Winston Sturzel. I've been living in China for the past 13 years, sharing my adventures through my documentaries and my YouTube channels.
As always, stay awesome.
My goal has always been to show people China like they've never seen it before, which has often led me to some of the most remote areas of the country. Now, I'm heading back to the big cities. Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, China's 4 largest by GDP and population, earning them the title of China's first-tier cities. I'm going deep into these bustling metropolises, bypassing the typical tourist spots to meet some of China's most awesome characters.
做这样的照片在中国是不是很难做？
对，非常难，就经常被封禁、被屏蔽什么的。
对。
I'll be sampling their ways of life. Discovering how living in China's Big Four has influenced their careers.
All the people come here for their startup projects. If you want to get something done, definitely come to Shenzhen.
And shape their views of society.
很多时候，就中国会变成一个全世界最难接受性教育的一个地方。
And of course, I'll also be trying some of the city's unique foods along the way.
Your days in the sewer are over, my friend.
The first stop on my journey is the city I've called home for the past 13 years, Shenzhen. Located in southern China on the border of Hong Kong, Shenzhen is China's 5th biggest city with 12 million people. Just 4 decades ago, Shenzhen was a tiny fishing village with a mere 30,000 residents. But since becoming China's first special economic zone in 1980, it has transformed into China's Silicon Valley. Now, 90% of the world's electronics come from Shenzhen, attracting engineers, computer scientists, and entrepreneurs from across the globe. But it's the city's local talent that I'm interested in.
I'm here in Huajiangbei, Shenzhen's biggest and #1 electronics district, in fact, China's #1 electronics district. And I'm here to meet China's most famous maker. This person has been in the LA Times, Forbes, and even on the cover of Make magazine. And her name's Naomi. And she's invited me to meet her here, and together we're going to be building one of her famous gadgets.
I'm going to buy some PLA filament for the 3 different model.
Okay?
Let's see what they got. 老板有没有1.75的 PLA？ 好，给我来100块。
好，
你找我。
现金可以吗？
现金好。
All right, 100块。
谢谢。
So we're busy buying this so that we can actually print something cool. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting for a secret project.
Yeah. This is an awesome place to come. You can get just about anything you want when it comes to electronics in Huajiangbei. 120 milliamp hour.
3.7 volt.
How long do you think that'll last?
Probably a couple of hours.
Yeah, that's cool.
Then you can charge it.
Awesome. I can't wait to see what we're going to build with this.
Oh, me
Yeah,
too.
I'm getting excited. It's still a secret. So Naomi, what are we making today?
Today we're going to make something that go along with your suit. You know, you're wearing your
Okay.
suit every day and your sunglasses, and
Yeah.
I just want to make it easier for you. So today we're going to build LCD glasses. And I'm
LCD
going to-
glasses.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
So please fetch me the 3D printed model we just took off.
Okay, so this is what you just pulled off the 3D printer, and I was kind of curious because I didn't really recognize what it is. So,
Now it's basically just a frame, but first we have to pull off supports like this
Okay.
to clean it out a little bit before we assemble it. So
Okay.
can you do me a favor?
yeah, so
Okay.
use some
So-
goggles. Let me put on my safety goggles just so no one complains. There we go. I've always known you as Naomi Sexy Cyborg. Where did you come up with the name Sexy Cyborg?
Because you know I'm a believer of anything on modification, like physical modification, just like a choice. If you can modify hardware, why can't you modify your body? Because my body is like an enclosure for the hardware, right?
Sure.
Probably in the future I'll put magnets in my knees, and then when I wear my thigh highs, my socks, it won't be so annoying every time I have to pull it up. I can just
Stick
snap
it with the magnets?
Yeah.
What is it about Shenzhen that makes it so good for tech?
All the people come here for their startup projects. If you
Yeah.
want to get something done, definitely come to Shenzhen.
Yeah, I've noticed. I mean, obviously, this is where a lot of the world's technology comes from. If anyone buys anything off Amazon that's electronic, just take a look at the place it's coming from. It's probably Shenzhen. Although there's a lot of manufacturing going on here, none of it's like the small-time creative stuff, you know, the kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
because for Chinese, it's very simple. If you can make one, why don't you make like 10,000 of them? You can sell them, right?
Yeah, makes sense, makes sense. So Naomi, you're really well known as kind of being the face of women in tech in Shenzhen. Do you think it's unusual for women to be working in tech?
No, in China you can, like if you go to the production line, those factories, all the work are done by women. I love making, and I think a lot of people love making too.
I think it's good. I think you're a very good role model to just about anyone who wants to get into this stuff. Doesn't matter, girl, boy, man, woman, you know, because it's just such a fun and rewarding thing to get into. What's happening next?
We are going to put some parts inside the LCD glasses. So inside the frame, what we have here, we have JST connector, we have a slide switch, we have some
of
resistors,
resistors.
yeah, a bunch of them,
Yeah,
and 3.7 volt
yeah,
battery.
batteries we got earlier.
Yeah,
Nice.
and some wires. And most importantly, we've got LCD.
Okay,
shutter
so
glass.
hang on. These are like transparent LCD panels?
Yes, they are.
That's super cool. Is it easy to get all the supplies you need here in Shenzhen? You know, all the
Oh,
wires and
definitely.
stuff. Yeah. I guess it's where it all comes from, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all coming from Shenzhen. All the order parts from Shenzhen. Most of the time, you know, these days I don't even need to go all the way to Huaqiangbei because I can just order from Taobao and they ship it to my.
Does it arrive like the same day?
Yes, some, not
Some?
all of them. Some.
Yeah. Seems like a bit of overkill. Usually I just use a lighter, you know? Yeah, anyway, I guess
Oh,
it
this
works.
is so clean.
Actually starting to look like glasses now.
Yes.
Sort of, yeah. There they are. Glasses on.
Yeah, so the battery just fits in the arm here along with the switch and the connector. That's super simple and really cool. Let's give these a try. I'd love everybody out there on the internet to see exactly how they work. So put them on kind of like, let me see. It's kind of difficult to do one-handed, but there we go. These are very weird, sort of futuristic looking glasses. And then I just flip the switch. Wow, okay. That's pretty cool, and I can still see through them. And then, hey guys, stay awesome. That's super cool. The fact that we managed to build this in, what, took us about an hour?
Yeah,
Maybe?
an hour.
About an hour? Hour and a half, yeah. And it's done. That's super cool. And that's kind of what makers are all about, right? It's just go into your workshop and make something that just wasn't there. I mean, this is super cool. Thank you so much, Naomi. This is fantastic, honestly.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Awesome. Cool. Stay awesome, guys.
Stay awesome.
We're in an urban village, which unfortunately they're shrinking in Shenzhen, but it's part of Shenzhen's flavor. So this is still one of the urban villages, and what happened was during the 1980s, there was this big unregulated building boom. Because as Shenzhen started to grow as this big sort of economic powerhouse of China, very few people were here, so the local residents decided that they would quickly take advantage and build all these sort of small village buildings. And what's happening around the city is the government is finally saying, okay, we'll compensate you for your buildings. And then they knock them down and they put up fancy skyscrapers. But the people that were smart enough to build these things are actually like millionaires, if not billionaires in some case, because the ground that this stuff is on is worth so much. So although the people around us look very poor and looks like they're living in rural China, they're actually, a lot of them, millionaires. It's kind of crazy. So I'm ordering changfen, which is a sort of a Cantonese Guangdong food. It's an essential part of dim sum. If you ever go to dim sum, you get rice rolls or changfen. It's a really unique sort of southern breakfast food. 谢谢老板。非常感谢啊。So this is a traditional Cantonese dish, and you might wonder about this word Cantonese. Where does it come from? Because you hear people speak Cantonese down in the south. Why is it called Cantonese? Why is this Cantonese food? And that's because the capital of the South, Guangdong province, is Canton. Or at least it used to be called Canton. Now it's called Guangzhou, and that's where we're going next. So let's head on off to Guangzhou, formerly known as Canton.
Historically known as Canton, Guangzhou is located on the Pearl River Delta, 100 kilometers northwest of Shenzhen. Guangzhou is home to 15 million people, making it the fourth most populated city in China. The city is famous for the Canton Fair, the Canton Tower, and Cantonese food, like dim sum. In fact, the majority of Chinese food found in the West is Cantonese cuisine. But in the West, you're unlikely to find Guangzhou's notorious, bizarre dishes. There's a Cantonese saying, any animal whose back faces the sun can be eaten. And where I'm headed, that statement couldn't ring any more true. On the menu this evening is fried locusts, bullseyes, just hit the bullseye, pig's penis, I don't want to eat that. And the main dish, the one that's going to steal the show, fried rat. Menu 可以点菜？
好的。
好，谢谢。要这个老鼠，想问一下，这个是你们的特色吗？
是的，这是桑鼠。
香鼠。
对，一只的话就有1斤2两。
好，
对，是我们的招牌。
1斤2两。这个有什么味道？
这个啊，这个肉呢，就是吃起来比较鲜嫩的那种，就是可能有些人上来的时候可能会接受不了它的那个样子，会有点害怕，但是吃起来的话，那个肉很甜。
你知道，在我们西方的国家，我们不吃这个老鼠，
不吃这个老鼠，
对我们觉得有一点奇怪，所以，但是我觉得有意思，我真的要尝一下。好，是就来一只了。
就来一只了，好的。
啊，这个呢？
猪欢喜。
对。来一份。
好的。
OK 啊，这个呢？
这是牛眼睛，
这个味道是怎么样的？
它是炸出来以后，而且不是比较脆的。
脆的啊。
是的，它一个眼睛切的薄薄的，上油上起来会很脆。
Oh, okay. So nice and crispy and nice and thinly sliced. Okay, fantastic. 也有一个我看到了，我觉得好恐怖。
蚱蜢。
对，这个蚱蜢。
对。
我应该要试一下。好。
菜牌帮拿走啦。
好，谢谢你啊。
谢谢啊。
Well, I'm not looking forward to this meal at all. Right, so we've got our beef eyes. It actually smells quite nice. It smells like beef. Oh yeah, that I can really see as an eye. That really does look like an eye to me. Let's give it a try. It tastes like you're chewing through a tendon or something like that. It's the actual eyeball part. It's really unpleasant, but the flavor is actually all right. I'm surprised. So I believe what I have in front of me right now is the pig's member, and I've never eaten male genitalia before in any way, shape or form. I'm looking at this and I'm just thinking about, that's some pretty wide girth over there. It doesn't taste good, but knowing that it's actually a pig's penis really does tricks on your mind, and as you're chewing it you feel it moving around your mouth and over your tongue, and you just have this horrible sort of feeling. It's probably all the dicks I ever need to eat. I'm just going to use my hand to pick one of these up. There's a thing about these that I don't like. Okay, first of all, I don't like locusts in general. I don't think they're a fantastic animal. But the fact that they've got every single part of them still on them. You've got the wings are still there, nice crispy little wings. Look at that. Little incisors. Everything is still there. It's like an alien movie or something. You even got the antenna and stuff on them. It's like, hey, we're coming to invade the Earth. How am I supposed to eat this thing? It's got these like spikes on its tail and everything. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank goodness there's something else coming here which looks normal. But now I actually have to eat one of these things, which is going to be a challenge. I genuinely just do not want to eat this thing. I can feel the head and the legs. Swallow it like a pill. Okay, and guess what's just arriving right now? Okay. Wow, this looks ridiculous. I've never seen a creature that looks like this. Look at the teeth. Look at that. I can't believe that I'm going to eat a rat. Look at those teeth though. That's really putting me off. That's hot. I see rats like scurrying up and down in China a lot, and they are big. They are this big, and I'm just concerned that this is actually just a rat that they found outside, and they're just kind of like, they've just picked it out of the sewer or something, and they've brought it over here for me to eat. If it's a proper, purpose-bred cane rat, I actually don't have a problem with it, but it looks awful. Look at his little hands.
Those poor little hands. This really is a rat. I'm about to eat a rat. Let me move this hand out the way. It's grossing me out. Move this little paw. See this little... There we go. Move that out the way. Let's just dig in. Oh, it's tough. It tastes like the worst duck I've ever had. It literally tastes like duck. Yeah. I'm eating a rat. And you know what? So far, out of everything I've eaten tonight, this is actually the best thing I've had. So, as gross as it may seem, I could be eating rat in the future. Yeah, I could see myself eating more rat. Anyway, let me dig in again. Your days in the sewer are over, my friend.
I'm on the way to a mosquito factory to meet a mosquito breeding scientist called Dr. Zhang. Now, this may sound as bizarre as having a plate of pig penises for dinner, but Dr. Zhang and his team are actually doing something quite special. But first, I've stopped off in Longda Wei Market, and I'm here to find a traditional Cantonese tea shop. My stomach's honestly feeling a bit iffy this morning, and I've heard the boss gives you an on-the-spot checkup and prescribes a herbal tea based on her diagnosis.
你好，老板。
你好，你好。
你可不可以帮我？现在我的肚子有点不舒服。
好，你就是给我看一下。
啊。
伸个舌头啊，行。17重。
17重吗？我昨天晚上吃了有一点奇怪的那个菜。
哦，那个菜太湿气了。你吃什么菜？
啊，我吃了那个炸老鼠。
哦，炸老鼠。
对，
我看我这里茶有的调理
啊，是吗？啊，
我这个茶也是纸袋的啦，
是吗？
就是帮一下人调理肠胃，好过去看医生吧，起码这是方便嘛。
对，非常方便。
啊，是不怕苦啊？
不怕苦。
好，打一瓶啊。
谢谢。She didn't study this. The knowledge was just passed down by her parents and by other older people, and she says it's actually a lot more convenient to just drink something like this and heal yourself rather than go to see a doctor. So it's very well known around the whole sort of Guangdong area to drink this kind of tea, and it can fix anything from a bad stomach to a cough to a cold, you know, just basic ailments that you'd normally just pop to see a GP to sort out. Hala? Cool. Let's give it a try. It's hard to explain the sensation. It gives you that, you know, if you bit into a lemon, that sort of sour, it doesn't have that flavor, but the body reacts in the same way as if you just bit into a lemon. Oh, this is really difficult to get down. 有一点苦。完了，
喝不喝？再喝吧。
啊，多一点。
啊？不喝。
没事。
Let's go meet Dr. Zhang and find out about these mosquitoes.
你好。
你好。
你好。Dr. Zhang, right?
Yep.
And Agan.
对 ，Yes。
非常感谢认识你们。
非常欢迎来参观我们的工厂。那么我们这里是一个蚊子工厂，那么它里面主要是介绍一些怎么样饲养蚊子的。我们第一步我们将会去那个释放蚊子。